Hey guys, it's Jordan from Show Me Vegas. Welcome to the channel, or back to the channel, whatever the case may be. Hey, we've been to Las Vegas this summer, and while it is starting to look more and more like the Las Vegas that we all know and love, it's not completely back to normal just yet. So we thought we'd put together a video showing you what you can expect if you visit Las Vegas this summer, 2021. Alright, so let's just get right into it. The number one thing you need to know if you visit Las Vegas this summer is to expect big crowds. And when I say big crowds, I mean like pre-pandemic crowds. Traffic is back on the strip, foot traffic is heavy everywhere, the casinos, the sidewalks, everything is crowded. It is shoulder to shoulder people. Now on the one hand that's great, but on the other hand, if you're still concerned about the pandemic at all, Vegas is not the place for you right now. You probably know there are no restrictions with regard to masks or social distancing in Vegas right now. Crowds are at full capacity in theaters and sporting events. So if you're concerned about crowds, being in a crowd full of unmasked strangers, then Vegas is not the place for you this summer. When we were there a couple of weeks ago, I would estimate that 98% of the people there were not wearing masks. Now, if you know anything about the math and how vaccinations have gone, you know that means there are a lot of people that are unvaccinated and they're not masked, which technically doesn't follow the guidance, but it's a don't ask, don't tell policy. Nobody's going to enforce that, so you just have to look out for yourself. Now, there is a lot of discussion lately, and when I say lately, I mean here mid-July, about possible mask ordinances or rules coming back. Don't expect that to come from the state of Nevada. I think they've already let the genie out of the bottle, so to speak, on that. But it is possible, although I would say not likely, that some properties begin to enforce masks again soon. As a follow-up to the crowd situation, one thing you need to do right now if you're going to visit Las Vegas this summer is do your research. Now when I say Vegas is back to full capacity, that just means they're full capacity in terms of building capacity. The hotels are sold out on the weekends, but there's still not quite as much to do as there was pre-pandemics. You know, shows are coming back, but they're coming back slowly. A lot of them still aren't fully back yet, so there's a little bit less to do. So you've got a lot more people in the casinos, you've got a lot more people eating out. You need to do your research, find out what's open before you go, find out what their hours are. Hours are still a little bit curtailed due to staffing levels. Make reservations. Absolutely make reservations. If there's a place you want to eat for dinner, you need to make a reservation, or else you might find yourself in a line like this one. This was outside the Bacchanal Buffet on a Saturday night. We had reservations, so we got in right away. But if you don't have a reservation and you really want to eat somewhere, you might find yourself out in the cold. Not literally, of course. I mean, it's Las Vegas, so you're never really out in the cold. Another thing you need to research before you go is what your transportation is going to look like. Uber and Lyft are functioning, but they are not anything like they were pre-pandemic. They still do have long wait times. It can be difficult to get a ride-share ride. Cabs are still readily available. The last couple of times we've been to Vegas, we just took cabs the entire time because you can just walk right outside a casino and get in a cab, whereas you might have to wait 15 minutes to get an Uber or a Lyft. And the price is really not any different right now because ride-share prices are higher than they used to be. So do your research, get your rides lined up ahead of time. Now this one doesn't come very easily for us, but if you're going to go to Vegas now, you need to be patient. Just like everywhere else in the country, they are understaffed in Las Vegas. There's been a lot of difficulty filling the staffing levels at restaurants and in the casinos even back up to pre-pandemic levels. So there are huge crowds, they're understaffed. You're going to have to be patient. Even when it comes to housekeeping and maintenance, we had one experience last month at a popular strip resort that you might recognize in the background here that was just absolutely terrible. And a lot of it has to do with low staffing. We've heard things about the engineering department having just a shockingly low number of workers right now. Housekeeping is understaffed, so something to keep in mind that you may run into, and it's not going to be everywhere. We had some really great experiences last time too, but you never know when you're going to run into staffing related issues in Las Vegas right now. Alright, now it's time for the Captain Obvious statement of this video, but if you're going to go to Vegas this summer, be prepared for oppressive heat. I think we have some footage of what it feels like on the Las Vegas Strip this summer. Yeah, there it is. It is unbearably hot in Las Vegas in July and August on a normal year, but this year they're experiencing even worse. It's record-breaking heat in southern Nevada and a lot of the West right now, but Las Vegas is not immune to that. It is oppressively hot. Stay inside as much as possible, but if you do need to be outside, the pool is a good place to go. Drink a lot of water if you're outside or inside. I know a lot of people like to say that they don't sweat when they're in the desert, but come on, if you're a human being and it's 115 degrees outside, you are sweating. Whether you realize it or not, it's probably evaporating so fast that you're not wet and you don't think that you've been sweating, but that's a bad combination when you've been drinking a lot of alcohol, not enough water, and it's 115 degrees outside. So if you've never been in the summertime, I don't mind it myself, but some people just aren't ready for the heat. And if you think that might be you, stay away until September or October. But again, if you do visit during the summer months, be sure and check out the pool. A lot of people also like to say, well, I don't like to swim in Las Vegas, I can do that at home. But when it's that hot outside, the pool is a great place to be, and let's face it, some of the pools in Las Vegas have the best atmosphere of any pools you're going to find anywhere. So if you're staying on the Strip, it's probably going to be worth it to you to go check out your hotel's pool. Alright, now this last one maybe should have come earlier in the video, but if you're going to go to Las Vegas this summer, expect high prices. When I say high, I'm talking crazy high prices. These are the highest prices I've seen in Las Vegas ever. The hotel rates in Las Vegas are through the roof right now. Comps are typically falling unless you're a really big gambler. Our comps have really bottomed out lately. These are the rack rates at the Bellagio in July and August, and if you look at the weekends, you'll see that the rates are anywhere from $350 to $500. When you get into football season, when the Raiders start playing home games, prices on the weekends are as high as $750 a night for just a plain room at the Bellagio. Now, you're probably going to say, well, hey, that's the Bellagio. I expect that to be high, so what about the cheaper hotels? Well, here's the Flamingo, July and August, and if you look at the weekends, you're still going to see rates for a basic room in the upper 200s to low 300s on the weekends. They're even still pretty high during the week, especially from Flamingo standards. Again, if you look into September, crazy high prices, $300, $400, as high as $435 for a Saturday night in September. I presume that's a Raiders home game weekend. This is just the new norm for now because, like I said, everybody wants to travel right now. Now, that said, one thing you can do to bring down the cost of your trip is utilize games like My Vegas, Win Slots. This is a screenshot of the My Vegas game. We've played this for years and we have gotten so many freebies and discounts out of this game over the years. Some really great stuff, everything from free rooms or heavily discounted rooms to free cocktails, 2-for-1 entrees, even show tickets whenever those start to become more prevalent again. So be sure, if you're not familiar with My Vegas or Win Slots, go check those games out. In the case of My Vegas, you don't even have to spend money on the game in order to redeem some of these rewards. So it's absolutely worthwhile. Now with Win Slots, if you want to book a room at the Win, you're going to have to pay to get your VIP level up to where you can book the room, but it's still going to be much cheaper than paying for that room outright. So it's still definitely worthwhile. One other place to check might be Groupon. There are some pretty good discounts out there for certain things, so these things can definitely help you bring down the cost of a trip when everything else is sky high right now. Well, that's it for this one. I hope you found this video informative and helpful if you're planning a trip to Las Vegas this summer. If you did like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Also, check us out on Facebook. The address is on your screen right now. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.